Hey Management 4480. Today we're going to talk about Chapter 3, which is concerned with the firm's internal environment. And so I have the notes from the PowerPoint I created for you here, and we're going to do a quick preview of the PowerPoint before you go check it out. So right now, we're thinking about the activities that help create value for a firm. And one way we assess the value add of a given activity is through value chain analysis. And so in the value chain analysis, we are defining value as the amount that a customer is willing to pay for the end product or service. And we really want to understand the core activities that we engage in, and then think about how much these activities contribute to what the customer is paying at the end. And so in value chain analysis, we divide our activities between primary and support. Our primary activities are those that are directly related to the production and creation of the product or service. And the diagram for value chain analysis is based on a manufacturing firm just as the default example, but of course we can apply this to any other firm from any other industry. Just know that the primary activities will change based on the type of firm that we are focused on, and even some of the support activities will change. When we're talking about a manufacturing firm, the primary activities directly related to the creation of the product include inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and service. And service specifically speaks to service after the sale. So that includes warranty-related issues or even trainings that teach the consumer how to use the product. Just whatever benefits the consumer realizes after buying the product or service. And support activities include procurement, which is the contracts that we have with our suppliers, technology development, which is essentially R&D, research and development, human resources, and general administration, which is a catch-all for finance, accounting, IT, things like that. So as I said, the primary activities might shift based on the type of firm that we are analyzing. And so you'll see various examples at the end of some non-manufacturing firm companies. And the goal here is to just identify for that given firm, what are the 5 or 6 main activities that that firm engages in order to produce and sell their product or service. I include a recent article in here as an example from Aldi, the grocery store. The article is about how Aldi is trying to shift its strategy and appeal to more affluent buyers, which is interesting because historically Aldi has tried to be the low-cost leader that would be appealing to groups on a budget. And so Aldi is known for keeping their store decor at a minimum. They have few employees in the store. Aldi's goal has been to save money in the store and the operations in order to pass those savings along to their buyers. Now they're saying that they want to appeal to more affluent buyers, and they're including more decor in their stores and they're offering additional services to their buyers. And so the value chain activity that used to create the most value for Aldi historically has now become less important, as the marketing and sales activity is more so something that Aldi is trying to push in the hopes of increasing its revenue. And in this class, I like to apply the strategies we learn for businesses to our own lives. And so I want you to also think about the activities that you engage in and how those activities add value to your life. So for your assignments for this topic, I want you to do a value chain analysis for a company of your choice. And so you're just going to identify 5 or 6 of the company's primary activities based on the product or service that it provides. And I want you to identify which activities do you feel provide the most value for that company. And then I want you to apply it to yourself, take a look at yourself, and identify the 10 activities that you commonly engage in on a given day. And I want you to identify which activities create value for you and which potentially destroys value for you as you work towards your goals. And the resource-based view specifically says that when we have resources that are valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and hard to substitute, then those resources that meet those 4 criteria are likely to contribute to a competitive advantage for the company. When we're doing an analysis on resources, we typically divide resources between intangible and tangible. So tangible resources are pretty easy to identify for us and for our competitors. Intangible resources include things like our reputation and the trust and experience of our employees. While intangible and tangible resources are things that we own, organizational capabilities are the things that we do. So an example of this is Whole Foods providing excellent customer service. Another example of this is Apple developing innovative products. These are actions that these companies undertake that set them apart from their peers. They do these things better than their peers. So again, the resource-based view is grounded in the idea that these resources that we identify must be valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and hard to substitute. And with respect to something being hard to imitate, we typically attribute it to 4 sources. The first source is physical uniqueness. So that means that there's literally not another one of these resources existing, so nobody else can imitate it even if they wanted to. This is like saying that there's one island on a certain sea and you own that island. There's no competition in that case because no one else can also own an island in that same area. There's only one. So another reason why a resource might be hard to imitate is due to path dependency. So this just means that the resource's existence today is based on all the things that happened in the past. And even if a company tried to give you step-by-step ways that they came upon this resource, even if you followed that step to the T, it wouldn't guarantee that you would also arrive at the end with that same resource. So this is, for instance, similar to you having a younger relative in your life who says that he or she wants to be like you and wants to achieve exactly what you've achieved in your life today. And so even if you gave this person the exact steps you took to get to where you are today and have accomplished everything you've accomplished, there were other factors and circumstances and situations that you faced that have also contributed to where you've landed today. And so there's no guarantee that this same outcome will meet your younger relative. Another reason why a resource might be hard to imitate is due to causal ambiguity. And that's essentially when it's hard to even explain how a resource came to be. So the story behind the resource and how a company might have obtained a resource is just not clear. And the fourth reason why something might be hard to imitate is due to social complexity. And that just speaks to the relationship dynamics between the people at a firm and how that's contributed to where they stand today. So if we're talking about a company and they're really successful today, and we could attribute that to their founders, the relationship between the founders, perhaps their work dynamic, the way they communicate, the way they connected and worked together was so unique that it played a big role in the company now being very successful. And so even if you try to mimic that same relationship, there's no way you can recreate the unique dynamic of another relationship and try to recreate it in your own life. And these things are unique based on the members involved. So just remember, when you are analyzing these resources, they have to meet all 4 criteria, not 3 out of the 4, not 2 out of the 4. Only when they meet all 4 criteria do they contribute to a sustainable competitive advantage. At the end of the PowerPoint, I include an article about Starbucks. So we all know that a lot of businesses have struggled in this pandemic, or at least have experienced lower sales as they've had to temporarily shut down. And then even upon reopening, they might experience less customer traffic. And so despite all of that, this article claims that Starbucks is positioned for a rebound. And so we have to question why. What makes Starbucks so special? And so I want you to do a resource-based view analysis on Starbucks as your assignment for today's class. There will be more information on Moodle about it, and you'll do the analysis on Moodle. All right, so that's it for Thursday's class. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you next week.